Companies try to reduce their carbon footprints. One cash alternative could be standing in the way: crypto. Okay, Baker and Brad, let's talk about this. Elon Musk making this a hot button issue just a couple days ago. So Baker, tell us a little bit more about the impact that currencies like Bitcoin have on the environment and why they might be harmful, because it's kind of counterintuitive, because
totally
you would
is.
think that it's not paper, you're not cutting down
Right.
trees to make this, that it would actually be better for the environment, but not so.
You're absolutely right, Jill. I think a lot of people assume cryptocurrencies are very green and environmentally friendly because this is a transaction you're doing with technology. But again, Bitcoin in the spotlight because of the amount of electricity that you need to mine that digital currency. Did you know this? The annual carbon emissions for Bitcoin are equal to those emitted by all of New Zealand and all of Argentina in 1 year. That is so insane. Digi economists, they create what they're calling the Bitcoin Energy Consumption Index, guys. Look at this. One Bitcoin transaction is equivalent to the carbon footprint that is created by more than 735,000 Visa transactions or 55,000 hours of just watching YouTube. That is one Bitcoin transaction. How crazy is that? And last month, researchers from China revealed that Bitcoin miners in that country could be producing 130 million tons of carbon every year by 2024. So these are the computers that you're basically using all the energy from. And when it comes to the fossil fuels that Elon Musk mentioned in his tweet, the tin that is essentially created to make these chips and all of that stuff for the computers to keep them all running, you need a lot more of that to keep the crypto going here, guys. So this is why everybody's trying to figure out, is there a more green alternative out there to Bitcoin?
That's a lot of YouTube to be
I know,
watching, and a lot of
55,000
Visa
hours
swipes.
of YouTube. That is a lot. I don't even know what's on YouTube to watch for 55,000 hours.
Okay, Brad, can you explain why this is? Why does Bitcoin require so much energy, particularly important as it gains in popularity?
So let's go back. Bitcoin is created with the use of intense, high-powered computers. These computers compete against machines to solve math problems, so this is an energy-intensive process that relies on fossil fuels, mainly coal. Basically, Bitcoin miners are verifying crypto transactions on computers, and so these miners, they earn Bitcoin for their work, so the more intense the competition, the more people are working to mine these tokens with more powerful computers. So all of this uses up more and more energy, and the energy use is now a serious concern for the impact on Earth's climate. And just another anecdote to this, I remember when we were talking about crypto on a week in, week out basis, even after the 2017 run up and into 2018 and 2019, when we were discussing this weekly through a show, I was running calculations every single week just to figure out what was the most profitable cryptocurrency to try and mine because of the energy usage that it takes to mine it. And there were points where it was so cheap to mine things like Litecoin versus Ethereum, or especially versus Bitcoin, because if the price moves lower, then it's less advantageous because of the output that you're going to get from mining anyway. But again, this just brings us back to this conversation of how much computing power is necessary and the overall impact, environmental impact on the world as well, for the number of miners there are out there.
All of this coming at a time, of course, when crypto at the height of its popularity.
Yeah.
So Baker, how are companies and how are these cryptos responding?
Well, let's start with the most important one out there. Let's talk about Elon Musk. He tweeted this week that Tesla is suspending vehicle purchases with Bitcoin. He cited the environmental concerns that we're talking about, and it comes 3 months after the electric vehicle giant revealed that they purchased about $1.5 billion of Bitcoin, and that Tesla would start accepting Bitcoin as a payment method for the products. Now, because of that tweet, Jill, that sent Bitcoin's value tumbling. He wiped off $365 billion worth of Bitcoin, wiped off right off the market in just a span of a few hours. Bitcoin, by the way, did recover a bit from the pain in the morning. It's now priced at nearly $51,000. The other angle to this, Jill, is does this essentially move people to Dogecoin? Because Elon Musk is obsessed with Dogecoin as the Doge father, but you would have to think, are there environmental impacts of Dogecoin? If it becomes just as popular, that's still energy. It has to churn to get Dogecoin going.
Brad, is there any hope for a greener crypto?
first of all, Elon Musk is the Doge father, self-proclaimed as much as I could self-proclaim that I am Satoshi Nakamoto, number one.
Oh,
number two,
fighting
there
words.
are more attempts to make the crypto space greener by mitigating the harmful impacts of mining. Elon Musk tweeting just yesterday that he's working to find ways to make Dogecoin's transactions greener. Some projects in countries like Canada and Serbia are attempting to use alternatives like hydropower to mine the currency, and other projects are attempting to use the heat generated by crypto mining for agricultural purposes. And so some sustainability experts say that companies using the cryptocurrency could compensate for carbon emissions by buying carbon credits. We've certainly seen a handful of companies, more than that, buy carbon credits to try and offset their emissions footprint.
Look, and I just want to add a couple things. One, Jack Dorsey has come out saying that Twitter and Square are spending about $10 million to fund greener alternatives for crypto mining out there. So clearly there are people and resources out there to try to fix this problem. But guys, this is obviously going to be an issue as crypto becomes much more mainstream and it's being accepted in far more places as a result. So all of a sudden this is going to be, by the way, this isn't new, by the way. We've known about the climate problem with this for a very long time, but as long as this continues to get more popular, this is going to be a bigger issue.
Which was, I think, what made Elon Musk's announcement about
So
Tesla
weird.
all the more bizarre, because this
Exactly.
wasn't a new problem that just
Right.
came to light.
Yeah, and we don't know what made him decide that he wanted to tweet that. Like, there was no new revelation that was like, oh, this is really bad for the environment that made him decide to tweet that. So that's why this is also really suspect.
Someone on SNL must have said something to him.
Yes, they probably did. It was probably Bowen Yang, you know, with all of those frown-faced emojis he kept putting about Elon Musk joining the show.
Oh, yes.
Meanwhile, in the backdrop, you've still got Facebook trying to make fetch work through Libra, or dare I say, Diem now is the new name.
Yeah, Diem
So
is
yet
all the hot
another
word now.
cryptocurrency project, digital currency project from Facebook.